Greetings, Mark Silver here. Now I'm going to do something a little different with this video. Instead of introducing the subject right away, I'm going to retell a story I told in short form in the second video of my Elemental Path series. When my ex and I were teaching the Elemental Path series in various stores around Denver, one of the things which we would do with each element is to ask the class to come up with things that they consider to be associated with the element being discussed. Then we would write it on a whiteboard. At one store, owned by a good friend, our friend made a point of being present every time we got to that part of the class. She would call out "bong" every time. It always got a laugh out of the class, but the point she was making was very important to the discussion. Now, think about it. It's associated with the earth because of the plant. Air, well, it's a pipe and you're inhaling it. Fire, of course, it's kind of useless without being lit. Water, it's a water pipe. And spirit, well, that almost goes without saying. Now, I haven't even drank alcohol in 20 years, so what's the point of this? In the original video, I mentioned that it was to say that elemental associations are subjective. Each person has their own view on what the elements mean to them. But the associations and components have to be meaningful as well. Not only to you, but they should have meaning within the spell. Some may argue that intent is not an important part of spellcasting, but I believe that it is one of the most key components. As such, the symbolism, the ingredients, and the wording all contribute to the success of the spell. As should be evident to anyone who has read my book, my social media posts, or watched my videos, that's this right here, I consider myself an elemental practitioner. An eclectic one, to be sure, and some may argue that with eclectic comes eccentric, and who am I to argue with that? Now, let's take a look at the wording of a spell. This example was for mental wellness. I've taken out the longer wording to keep it brief. By the power of the air, grant clarity of thought. By the powers of fire, grant the gift of self-driven willpower to life. By the powers of water, grant sympathy. By the powers of earth, provide grounding. And by the powers of spirit, grant peace to the soul. Now, you'll notice that each line had an association with the element invoked. You can also do this mentally by thinking of things associated with the intent of the spell. Say you're trying to get a job as an artist. You may think of air as being the inspiration and creativity of the job. Fire for the driven nature of good art. Water could be the paint used as the medium. Earth as being the canvas you paint on. And spirit as bringing your artistic sensibility to completion, the result, and the whole of your will. You can do the same thing with the ingredients used as well. Think of them as part and parcel of what you're trying to accomplish. If you are trying to attract love, you may include rose petals for earth. A perfume or cologne may be representative of both air and water. The red candle for the fire of passion, and maybe something in the shape of a heart for spirit. I'm sure you're seeing the point of this video. Everything you use in your magic should be meaningful to you as well as to the intent of your spellcraft. I use the art elements as a base, not just because it is who I am, but also because it provides a meaningful and easy framework for the construction of my spells. You can comment on this video either on my YouTube channel or on the social media post where you found it. Let me know if it was useful to you or what you use as a framework for your own magic. As always, bright blessings, Mark Silver out for now.